This is my balcony aquaponics system. It's a simple system. It's made up of two pot plant pots that I've sealed to ensure that it keeps the water in, and a grow bed and a siphon system. You'll see that the siphon system isn't working currently. The water is still being pumped continuously to the grow bed, and there's a submersible water pump that sits in my bottom pond, pumps up through pipes, just PVC pipes, and into the grow bed. You'll see now that the siphon system has started, and the water is starting to flow into the top pond. As the siphon system starts to draw the air out of the siphon pipework, the siphon will form, and all the water that is in the grow bed, you'll see at the top there, will be dumped into the top pond. The siphon does take a bit of time to get started. I think it's partly because of the small size of the system, and also environmental factors such as the atmospheric pressure at the time. But while that siphon is starting, let me tell you about the fish that I have. So I have 9 goldfish, 3 comets, and 6 fantail goldfish, and they seem to be very happy in the pond. And then I have an indigenous water lily that seems to do very well on the northeast coast of South Africa. I believe it is a Cape origin water lily. And the other I have is an exotic water lily. It's known as the yellow queen, and it produces 1 yellow lily in a season so far. So I'm hoping it's going to produce more in the years to come, but at the moment it does seem to be a bit slow. There you'll start to see the siphon forming. I also have an airlift pump, and that is just a PVC pipe with a T section and a cap on the one side of the T section, and an air stone inside the PVC pipe, and that draws water from the bottom of the top pond to the surface to make sure that it's properly circulated and well aerated. And then, as you can see, my overflow from the top pond is just a copper pipe embedded into the top pot that flows down into the base pond, which is again drawn up through the PVC piping up into the grow bed. So what I found initially when I started the pond is that it was completely overgrown with algae, and the water was constantly green. And there you can start to see the siphon forming. You can see the rate at which the water is drawn out of the grow beds. So initially when I started the system, it was green all the time until I introduced the grow bed. The grow bed reduces the amount of algae and keeps my water crystal clean throughout the year, even in the summer months. So it's been a very successful system. It did take me some time to get the siphon system to work properly. Like I said, I think it's simply the size of the system and probably a lack of water pressure that prevents it from siphoning properly. But with trying a number of different combinations in terms of the orientation of the pipes and the length of the pipes, we managed to get the system to work to some degree without a hitch. In my grow bed I've grown a number of different plants. The most successful plant that I planted was certainly the mint, the spearmint. The only problem with the spearmint is that it seems to overgrow the system. The roots clog up the pipes, and it's a bit of an aggressive grower, so it's not recommended for an aquaponics system. What I've got in here now is some lettuce, some thyme herbs, as well as a strawberry plant, and we haven't yet had a crop of strawberries, but we're hoping that it's going to do well in the aquaponics system. As you can see, the siphon system hasn't yet broken. It does take a bit of time. On a few efforts, it will eventually discharge all the water from the grow bed, and the siphon breaks, which is adequate as long as the water does leave the pot entirely and that the siphon eventually breaks. But it's definitely been a trial and error. I've come across a number of YouTube videos that have assisted me in designing the system, and they've certainly helped. And if you'd like to try your own, it's well worth the experiment. It's a lot of fun watching your plants grow and getting the system up and running, and it's so nice to be able to have a system like this on your balcony. It doesn't require much space at all. My balcony is literally 8 square meters in size, and yet I have a fully functional aquaponics system, and it's been hours of enjoyment in what is a rather built up area. Unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of having a garden in this place, but it has not stopped us from enjoying a beautiful water feature and aquaponics system. I hope you've enjoyed our video today. Just a last look at our plants and how well they're doing, and I encourage you to try the same.